All right, hello, my friends from YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Sowers, jumping into a traditional best of 3 AFR draft. I'm not sure if I want the white over the Wandering Troubadour. Interestingly, white is a very good black card, which is confusing. It is the only good black card in the pack, and I suppose it's rare I need to play with. Like, how can this be bad? It's a 2-mana 3/2 that usually dies into a 2/2. That seems pretty good. Trickster? Probably not going for the Trickster over these two. Although it's probably third on the list, followed by Spoils of the Hunt. But I want to try out some of the rares. But to answer your question, Brian, so far I really like it. I've had a good time in this format. It plays a bit like a slightly pushed core set. I like that there's different strategies. There's a lot of different things you can do. Right. We have Minimus Containment, Brunor, Tree Locera, Erratic Apprentice. Kind of interested in taking the Minimus Containment and see if I can get the black-white dungeon deck to come together. What's up, John? When someone says this plays like a core set, they mean that it's relatively low on synergy and that the cards need to stand on their own. It's kind of like saying this set plays like an older set. There's less restrictions on you have to play these color pairs or you need these 3 cards that say these 3 things. A little less combo-y. Yeah, I think I like the Minimus Containment. We don't need to like determine what we're in just yet. Just take a removal spell on a decent creature and see what comes together for me. I mean, I'll play too. I'll certainly play too. I can pair white with whatever I want now. Decent black uncommon's still there, but... Yeah, I like the Lightfoot too. But I don't like it as much as these. Now that's interesting. That's quite interesting, because we've got a lot of good black cards here. I had assumed this was for green-black, but there's a possibility we could make a lot of zombies, and then the zombies would get the thing with the stuff. I wonder if the Skullport Merchant isn't just better. But, you know, if we're going to build a zombie theme deck, let's build a zombie theme deck. What's up, Miguel? Zombie theme deck with a Wrath? I guess if I have to. Sepulchre Ghoul is a zombie, which is kind of neat. It's also worth noting that, like, we don't have to be white. But I like this card in general. It's a great way to start, you know, feeding tokens to things. I mean, so far, every zombie and skeleton we can get is better. I think in general, I like the Merchant more. But I was thinking this might be fun to try to use. I've used the Merchant. I know that it's good. I haven't really made this work. All right, if it's black-green, I'll play black-green. I don't really need any of this. Yeah, okay, you got it. You did it. Yeah, John had been saying the podcast effect is in full effect now, and you can't... You should play red, therefore you shouldn't play red. Which is always fun. I do like Feign Death. That's particularly fun on the white. Okay, that is a vampire. Which is something. I don't hate this equipment these days. But I'm going to go with this vampire spawn because I'm not quite sure what we're doing yet. Yeah, agree. And generally speaking, that's going to put me down on the Death Priest. We got us Zombie Ogre. We're kind of getting into like a morbid theme deck now, which is generally more black-green than black-white. I'm going to need some removal spells to consider going full-on black-green. Well, I think you'd be more likely to splash Minimus Containment than Dragonfire. Dragonfire doesn't kill everything. Can't put a planeswalker in a bubble. I mean, it's also worth noting that our entire creature suite does get buffed by this so far. Like, we got zombies, vampires, and zombies. It works with skeletons, too. That's another zombie, and that word on the street is this ain't so bad, and I could sort of see it. I could sort of see it. I'm willing to give this a shot as basically a fill-in 2-drop. All right, so Mace is interesting. This could get back something useful. And I know I like Herald of Fadar, but I want to play with Fate's Reversal. I've kind of moved myself into a let's experiment with black cards deck. I mean, the Capital Great is a bit much for me, Dom. This can't be better than a serviceable 1-drop. I feel like garbage, Urberk. How are you doing? Thank you for nicely inquiring about my health. I'm not trying to be sassy. I just don't feel good. Well, yeah, I mean, here's what the Ghast has going for it. It can probably trade for a 2-drop. There's a few 2-drops it can trade for and leave behind a treasure. It doesn't seem so bad. Well, it would appear that the order of the hand shall rule. Cool. We'll do that. Yoinks. Don't really need to look at the rest of the pack. There's an auto win card. I do like winning. You know, that's a fair point, Render. I didn't have coffee this morning because I thought it might have been responsible for some of my problems yesterday. But one of my problems today is a headache and the same things I had yesterday. So my guess is that it wasn't the coffee that got me. I am not experiencing anything that's incredibly unusual for me, Urberk, though I do appreciate your worry. Thank you. I have a doctor's appointment in August, and ideally we'll get some stuff sorted out. But that may mean that after this draft, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee and see if we can knock that headache out. I hadn't quite put that together. I had a cup of tea instead, but that don't do the same thing. Y'all know that. Even the good stuff don't do that. What precisely is happening in this art? Can't really blow it up any bigger. I'm trying to figure out exactly what this zombie ogre is doing. And it looks like just kind of making a mess, I guess. No, they don't really do a lot of strong tea in the US. Alright. If I just go ahead and commit to white... Oh. This doesn't do anything. I always look at this and think it's a white land, and it's not. This literally doesn't do anything. This pack sucks. I mean, kind of for everybody, too, doesn't it? What's up, Orcish? I can take this hired Hexblade and move along with my life. I'm going to need a few more twos. But I ain't exactly thrilled about it. I mean, I'd rather take a 2 I know I'm going to play, but that was just a stinky pack. Alright, so how deep are we planning to go on dungeon themes? Because looking at it so far, not very is the answer. Hello, Unnamed. The hawk is okay-ish, but I'm still not quite sure that we're white. We probably are. We've got these 2 minimus containments, but like if I keep my creature base not white, I don't have to worry about playing these out earlier. Like I think it's maybe going a little too heavy on theme to take the vampire spawn. I should be able to spin that. Let's take the gargoyle and see if white actually opens up and we can get the adventure deck going. Now that's interesting. What if we were black, white, red? That's a color combination I've liked before. And I think we could potentially splash this. We've already got 1 treasure in the group currently. So maybe we're going to Mardu some things here. That means we're probably going to be playing something like a Gloomstalker, although not incredibly excited about it. I still don't feel like we're quite speedrunning dungeons just yet. Yeah, I think I can take the Eye of Beholder of Sadness. I'm not excited to be taking that here, but it's a playable late game removal spell that we can put in the deck and live with. Half-Elf Monk I might could use. This looks like a deck that could take advantage of that. Yet it's not Rise of Extus. I think we could probably play a Baleful Beholder too, but let's go ahead and move in on white and accept that this is probably what we're playing and be okay with it. I'd love an Evolving Wilds if we can find one. I don't know that we can. Kind of a... Oh, this is the 5 damage to target attacking creature. Yeah, I'll play that. I'll play that all day long. Wow. Rallying Maneuver, Grim Bounty, the Mace, and the Herald. I think we found our color pair. I'm going to take the Grim Bounty because this is a removal spell that lets me play the dragon, but Rally Maneuver is as good as advertised. I probably don't need all of these various combat tricks now. But we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, it can do that too. I don't think that's generally what you're playing it for, but it can do that. Because I've basically got 3 red sources in this deck already. Because I think we could get to the treasure token off of the Herpaderp. I might play that. We could get one here. And then we've got the other one. So we'll board with that. If this needs to be a 2-drop, it can be a 2-drop. I want to be a tea person, but in my heart of hearts, I know that I'm not. Let's start cleaning up a little bit here. I think ideally we're not playing that. I probably don't need the torch. I've got a better artifact. I'm probably not running the Eyes of the Beholder. I think I could play a white dragon and be pretty happy. I also think there's room for a Clattering Skeletons here. But I think I like the dragon, and let's see what this looks like. Another Grim Bounty solves my splash issue. Whereas Divine Smite would just be a phenomenal sideboard card, but I'm on board with this now. Like, our removal suite just looks great. And now it's like I don't even need a red source for the dragon. Is Divine Smite good? It is one of the best sideboard cards you can ever bring in. Now, whether or not you want to main deck it, that's up to you. It doesn't do much when you main deck it, but if you're against black, my god, it's amazing. I think I could go for a Priest of Ancient Lore here. I do like a Portable Hole, but I want to make sure we got enough of creatures. It's a reverse Tomb Blade. It kind of is, isn't it? Okie dokie. So at this point, we're just playing all of these Grim Bounties and probably trimming out some of the lesser removal spells. Even though I like them. Like, we're probably not set up to play Ray of Enfeeblement main, but I'd be happy to. I'm wondering if I want this just in case we get a couple life linkers and use that as a finisher. But I don't have anything that's really that great at hurting people when it connects, so I'm going to take a sideboarded Ray. We've already got a watch in the sideboard that I don't think I'm playing. Because I think the last card is likely going to be this last Hexblade. It could be a Herald of Hadar, though. I like that card a good bit, too. If we're going to play some white, this isn't a terrible 2-drop. If we ever get it with the hand, it's some advantage. Clattering Skeletons, I think I just want to play, though, eh? I'm not sure that we're going through the dungeon enough. Well, I should probably just cut Fate's Reversal. Like, just save the dang thing and keep it. Have you played the Deadly Dispute? I've had one deck that I played one in, yes. I think it's pretty good in black-red. I don't think I want it here. That shouldn't have wheeled. But I'm glad it did. Exclamation point SR will get you to Stream Raiders. I might actually want this Hawk over the Ghast. Now that we're here. Because I've already got 3 red sources off of these Grim Bounties. So if most of what it's doing is try to trade with a crappy 2-drop, let's have something that could give us late game dungeon adventuring. We have some interest in finishing a dungeon. I'm not planning on playing a mountain, no. I think we're going to go 9 black, 8 white, and call it a deck. If I had an Evolving Wilds, I'd play one. Or like a Temple of the Dragon Queen would be super duper nice. But it is not where we are. So do 9/8. And Grumpy Cat's kind of the honorary black-white deck. I suppose Extra Life is too, but I'm in a Grumpy Cat mood. Alright, as we prepare to all die in this battle, I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee. I'll do what I can to hold the line here. Orcish, you're fortified. Take all the damage. What's up, Arkham? I feel like garbage, man. It sucks. I wish it felt better, but it don't. That said, I felt well enough to start a draft today, so we'll do that. I got a bad feeling about this battle. We did lose this battle yesterday. But I wanted to capture it for the YouTubes, because some of the YouTubers have asked, do you ever lose a Stream Raiders battle? And now they won't ask anymore. All right, Adam with the kills and Calc with the assists, but it doesn't matter because we're losers. Let's see if this deck will actually do something. And I can already feel my life getting better with a little bit of coffee. Okay, let's try it again. Y'all place your units. And let's see what we got going on here. What you got here for us, bubs? That ain't pretty, but it's a keeper. Kind of need to hit black, but we're planning on that. What's up, Ray?
What did you get me?
I got you a shot of bourbon, my man. Hope things are going well in your world, Ray. Thank you very much. Y'all spam some cats for Ray. Happy Thursday, Techno Shaman. I also hope that I am well enough for the sweatsuit. Mono white, go, go! I'm gonna say it could be a Hand of Vecna off the top, but it could also not be. Would not mind the black mana one day. I can appreciate that, man. Attack you want, coward. So the white man is basically exactly what we needed. This is why we did the split in favor of white. I'm not mono white. That's acceptable. What? What is this craziness? 2 colors of mana. I like it a lot, Ray. How did you like Strixhaven? Good morning, Tommy. I did not care for Strixhaven. This seems like a breath of fresh air after Strixhaven. You know what? Sure. I'll take a Minimos. I'm glad you're enjoying Waterworld. It was one of my favorite Kevin Costner movies as well. Go sit in the corner. This one feels more like a core set to me, Ray. Like good old-fashioned Magic Draft, and I like it. Do you ever see paper? Oh, neat. This one just, like, does all kinds of crap, right? Whenever you cast a creature or planeswalker, you go in the dungeon. Okay, I suppose that's not the worst. Now, this Beholder doesn't really do a whole lot here. Other than be a 6/5, which is fine. They don't have an enchantment to sacrifice. So, sure, let's go. I'm sorry to hear that, Drake. I wasn't sure what you were talking about, which is why I was being a little silly, I suppose. I reckon we got us a good old-fashioned board stall here now. Okay, yeah, the coffee was the right idea. Thank you guys and gals for helping me get there. It's better. I reckon there's a distinct possibility they drew the combat trick that blows me out if I double block, so I'm not going to. Okay, that's not what they drew, but this is also acceptable. There was some sort of sound effect that I heard that sounded really weird. Did y'all hear that too? I guess that's just what ropers sound like. Am I dead? Not quite, but you can see it from here. It is not sweatsuit winning coffee, sadly. This is exactly where Hand of Vecna can really shine. Observe. I should have been holding the land. I forgot. I did Goblins. If I wasn't so sick, I would be signed up for it. I still enjoy Storybook Brawl a great deal. It's a very fun game. Maybe that was their Jace puppet laughing, is what I heard. Right, I've still got one turn. I just can't do anything with it. I think it was their Jace puppet I heard giggling over there. Man, that was a rough start. It's pretty great, Rocky. Thank you. All right, so we're up against green-white. We have Array of Enfeeblement, which I think would be pretty useful here. I'm kind of not impressed with the Hexblade, but my creature count's a little low. But I'm still not impressed with it. Fine, you can beat it. I'm goofy, Heistion. Sometimes I switch up the lands, sometimes I do some of them, sometimes I do none of them. It's the opposite problem we had last time, but here we are. Yeah, we managed to make a good Tarask deck that was green-red and using treasures to ramp to it. Yeah, that was their Jace puppet, I heard. Cracking something? No, just being goofy. Well, that got worse real quick. Yeah, this is great. Mo mana, mo problems. I have to try to keep this just to be able to block with it later. This is a lot of damage coming through. More lands. That's interesting. I like that. So we're going to need to be blocking. I don't currently have anything that can block that, which kind of incentivizes me to kill it. But there's also the problem of, well, can't because of the ward. But I think this likely leads to the most outs for us. So let's just get it. I realize it's not untapping. But I think if we're going to catch up, this might be where it starts. We would trade these and then just play something that can block or trade with that. Or just go to 1. That works too. So I could play these skeletons and a 3/1. Which is still not great. I could also play this and tap that and hope they don't have anything else. Yeah, then if I draw another land, I can play the 2 creatures. So I think this is still the best bet. Just really hurt missing those land drops. But at least I can express myself. That is the one downside to a set that feels a little more core set-y, is sometimes you don't get the lands. There's no hand smoothing in best of 3, which is why I like it. The mana system inherent in Magic needs to be there so that other players can beat me on occasion. Otherwise, I don't think it would be fun for other players. I'm the best that there's ever been at being humble. I totally win at being humble. Holy crap, 2 colors of mana. What is this nonsense? There's no rip mountains in the deck, so we don't have to worry about that. I think it is. But what do I know? Do I know things? Let's find out. They gotta gain 4 life for that to do something, right? Three life. Okay. Which might mean I should be more respectful of an equipment on this. I suppose they could just do that. I guess I still should have blocked it. Sorry. Had a little bit of a brain fart there. I just want to try to kill him. I'm not a complicated man. This is what I wanted. 0. But it's obviously better with them. But I don't think you need any to make it work. Why not send in the team here? They are gaining a lot of life. But we ain't gonna run out of these skeletons. I kind of like keeping the Lord back. An enchantment, huh? That's an artifact, and an artifact, and an artifact. What if my dudes have menace? Can I kill them with that? Because they're at 9. So they block, what? This and this, this and this, and take 2? That didn't look like dead to me. Well, they got basically 2 blockers. So they block these 2 and these 2, and then take 3. That's not anywhere close to lethal. They can only block 2. Why am I having trouble thinking through this? This coffee must not have kicked in yet. They'd block this one and this one, and then take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Why was that so difficult for me to think through? Duh. I forgot what Menace did. Yeah, they'll go to 1, but if they don't kill the Hawk, I can kill them with it next turn. Actually, this block kills them. Yeah, they're dead. They don't live. They're just dead. All right, YouTubers, I promise I'm not usually this stupid. I normally see this stuff. But autoimmune disorders freaking suck. They are not good. I dislike them. I would like to not have them. And hopefully, soon, I won't. Well, I still will, but it can be treated. I kind of want to set off some traps here. I kind of don't want this hired Hexblade, so I'm not going to play it. It's like I said, I think me getting hit with a bout of whatever this crap is right before the new set came out was just so other people could have some fun playing it too. All right, this changes our line a little bit, but in a good way. Because I'm halfway thinking about just getting rid of this cleric class before I even have to do anything else. And then wiping the board away afterwards. Yes, render. Only problem is I don't really need to fire off Sphere of Annihilation just to kill that. Okay, it's worth it now. Become annihilated. Boop. We're like Dorkbringer Cleric, am I right? That is a heavily shielded Cleric. I wouldn't fire that off if I didn't have a backup removal spell, a way to protect my dude, and an incentive to have a red mana in play. What's up, Render? I don't have to be hasty, though. We can take as much time as we want. Vampire Spawn at least enables an attack this turn. That's an incredible amount of equipment. And now that we've set it all up like this, splat. They probably think I top decked it and are really mad, but I didn't, and I didn't, and I haven't done the math. I just know that this is probably lethal. Oh. All right, so if we win one more, we got us a 2-1. I'll take it. That mana issues in round 1 was just crappy. Did not care for that. Well, it's looking to set us up for that again, but top decking, generally people will refer to as they just drew a card from the top of their deck and then played it. So I sat there for a while with that removal spell, trying to build us a scenario where I could either win the game with it or at least not lose. A lot of people will complain about somebody top decking something and winning the game, where in a lot of cases they didn't top deck it, they were holding it. I tried Barbarian class in a deck earlier today. I was not impressed. It was not blue-red. Which is, I think, where it needs to be. Nice, Sean. Fossa great. I've only been to the one in Montreal, but it's a lovely shop. I was fortunate enough to sit down and do a Scars of Mirrodin block draft with Alexander Hain and friends. That was quite the fun experience. I should have played this Death Priest first. I thought the surprise token might have some value, but it's probably more valuable to just threaten more damage. But I'm also pretty happy with them making trades. I mean, that's pretty good too, but I want me a land at the moment. Montreal's lovely. Oh, you on a block, do you? I hope you're better too, Laggy. I'm getting over something now, although I believe mine is autoimmune related and not just cold. Not that a cold isn't a bad thing. It can be pretty awful, but... They'd probably just be chumping me. That might need to be minimist. Yeah, I don't think I'm equipping the hand this turn. Because this is already lethal. I suspect it just gets chomped. I want to see what their blocks look like, though, because if they decide they actually want to kill it, Feign Death could be fun. I'm not respecting their devil, and I might should be. It has been incredibly difficult, Sean. I'm not entirely sure. I know you can order things off the website. I'm in the United States, but I've heard from my French-Canadian friends that things are opening up there. Martin is my authority on French Canada. So 4/4's got a good attack. I don't see why I wouldn't just send it. I got your message, Marty. I want to play video games with you too, bud. I just don't feel good. It sucks. I want to feel good. You know, dragons fire that? Okay. I got more where that came from. It seems to be concentrated in blue and red, and that's where the payoffs are, but it's a mechanic that goes across all of the colors. And a Vecna late game grinding a moot. Talk to the hand. I'm glad to hear that, Martin. Gotta send a message. The deck does seem to function pretty well when we draw the mana. Let's see if we can do our Stream Raiders battle. See, now this is a much better setup. I believe we might actually be able to win this time. This is still going to be somewhat tough. A lot of those orcs hatched. But at least Orcish Artillery isn't the only tank. I think the left flank is crumbling relatively fast. But if we can finish this side fast enough, we might be able to do something. The rogues don't go after the tanks for some reason. They go after ranged units first. Man, those little Centurions are trucking along, though. Those must be high-level little dudes. Sometimes I'll look at the board and think the epics are the best units, and sometimes they are, but not always. Because those dudes are just absorbing damage. Yeah, they eventually died, but I think they accomplished the goal. of buying enough time. Now, I gotta see if I actually want to sideboard against this deck. It's blue-red. I've been taking the Hexblade out nearly every game. But I don't see anything that I'm like, oh my god, we have to play against them. So I don't think I'm changing anything. These battles shouldn't really take more than 2 minutes. Come on, Stream Raiders. I'm sorry all your units died. We got to go quickly. We've got Bowster and Stonehenge with the kills and assists. There's one little unit down there. I'll pop over after they kill it. Boots of Speed. All right, they finally got it. Congratulations to Rabble and Holland. Fast forward feature. Generally speaking, it doesn't bother me, but in moments like that, you're like, come on now. Ray, if you're still around, how would you feel about a set with no equipment printed in it? Because I think I'd like that a lot. I know John wants death to equipment. Yeah, I'm thinking a bunch of us old timers just hate equipment. Now that's interesting. You reckon I could just aggro him out with it? No, you wouldn't. Why would you need auras to be good? I don't think I'm the beatdown right now. If I'm not the beatdown, I just play the skeletons and block. Hey, thank you for the resub, Brian.
Sub to make you feel better.
Much appreciated, my friend. Y'all spam some cats for Brian. You can spam the new Sim High if you like. You're not what we need. We need a black source or something we can cast right now. Because this is not good enough. I would like to top deck a land for Grim Bounty, as I believe that would solve some of our problems. And while not exactly what I'm looking for, this is all right. Look at all those lovely cats. Very happy with my new emote artist. She did exactly what I wanted with that. She's almost done with the new Sim Cheers as well. So get your old cheers done now, because soon you will never see them again. Tim, thank you for the resub.
Cat.
Now they want to dirtle. The older emotes will not remain in the Discord. At least that is not my plan currently, unless y'all really want them. But it was my intention to replace those two. They could always come back as like bit emotes or something in the far future. Well, that sucks. Although, I think I might still be able to race it. I'd need to dodge them top decking a creature. No, I need them to dodge top decking a creature that I can't chomp block, and I win the game next turn, provided they don't. Oh, it didn't quite work like I wanted it to, but here we are. Oh no, not you. You're actually interesting if I'm willing to go to 1. The problem is this kind of turns off my Dargon, but I think I understand where this is going, and it might be somewhere I can still win. Because this would let me use the Hand of Vecna defensively. I think if I'm going to chump with something, I'd rather it be this. Yeah, they don't animate in the Discord, no. They only animate on Twitch. Okay, well now we're just dead, sadly. Rust Monster has a max potential of 4 damage on this board currently. Meh. Or does it sack our, does it give it +1/+0 or +2/+0? It has to be chomped that turn, whatever. Like, if I'm at 4, it's either lethal or it's not, and those are the main concerns. I think it's +2/+0, but in the end, the difference between 3 and 4 doesn't matter when they've already got a lethal threat that I have to chomp. You know what I'm saying? Ah, fair. To be fair, pardon me. I suppose I don't have to go that route. But I still kind of want to. I'd rather have double white than that. This thing is not that threatening, but it can run away with the game, and I don't see any reason to allow that to happen. Especially when I've still got Minimoose for an actual threat. I think I'm happy letting them trade this one if they'd like. Because it's only going to get worse for him from here. You gonna race it? Okay. I'd be pretty happy with 2 in most decks, Render. I don't think it'd be crazy to play 3. It's a really good combat trick, but make sure you got the creatures to back it up. That's 4 plus 4 is dead. That didn't leave you much room for removals. But I'd want a bunch of 2-drops in a deck that's going to play 3 rally maneuvers. Alrighty, YouTubers. We managed to scrape together a 2-1. The only loss was to Mana Screw, which I'll take. I've gotten to the point where I like, after these videos, to kind of look through the deck and think about what overperformed or underperformed. I never drew this and couldn't cast it, but I also just never really had a chance to play it. Hand of Vecna continues to impress. We got value off of Spirit Annihilation. The white was good. The Hired Hexblade wasn't great, but it did its job of being a 2-drop I could play. The Gargoyle never got to go all the way, but I didn't super expect it to. Monk never really did much, but it was okay. And we did get the Death Priest to work. It didn't take that much effort. But YouTubers, I appreciate y'all watching. If you've watched all this way, you may as well subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come back and watch another draft sometime. And you can check out the Twitch stream. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin. Chat. Say goodbye to YouTube.